world's been through several ages. The world's been through the Ice Age, the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age. And in retrospect, many years forward, people look back at this period, the past 20 years, like now, as a guitar age, because there are so many guitar players, there's so many styles of guitar playing, and there's such an interest, and it's incorporated in many, many aspects of music. Commercial music, jazz music, classical music. So this is the exciting time for the guitar. In jazz, I discovered that one improvised on the harmonic sort of background of a piece with playing rhythmic phrases and lines, and that intrigued me no end. I was born in Burma, Rangoon, December 1919, and Jewish parents, and my father was a merchant. He had a store, and I've had the usual upbringing of a schoolboy, and then went to university and did chemistry. But at the age of 12, I was taught the piano, and I was hopeless. The teacher would give me a lesson, and I was not interested in reading those silly notes just one at a time. I used to fumble around with chords on the piano. Then, when I was about 15, there was a guitar lying around in the house. It belonged to my uncle, and he played 3 cowboy chords. You know, we say C, F, and G 7th. And I watched him play. And when he went to school, I picked it up and figured out a few more chords. And when he came back, I said, listen, there's an A7th here and a D7th here. You know, so the colors of the chords really excited me and interested me. And I just did a lot of research. I used to go and get from the library books on modulation, read up Beethoven's modulation and try and apply it on the guitar. And of course, an inherent sense, a harmonic sense. One is born with that. You know, some people are born with very good pitch. I was born with a good harmony, because even as a kid I could sing a harmony part to a song. So I think that's a great help in guitar chord playing. And I went to London. I had been offered a Saturday regular gig at Jazz Club, BBC Jazz Club, and I was more or less the sort of a standard guitar player that was used every Saturday. But also, there was a restaurant there called Hatchett's, and that was a restaurant where George Shearing played in the early years. And Hatchett's, the guitar player, was leaving, and I met him one day. He said, "You looking for a resident job?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I got the job at Hatchett's, which I held for 7 years. Everything seemed to have been so exciting for me, you know, coming from a small town. Well, when I say small town, it was Rangoon, which was the capital of Burma, and not being exposed to that strata of musicians. I land up in London, and before I know where I am, I'm playing with the leading jazz musicians in London. And so all that sort of thing is mind-boggling. I thought to myself, is this happening to me really? I pinched myself to think whether it is so. pulse of jazz is not the same as the pulse of jazz today. In the old days, it had the sort of a Dixieland feel, then it went to the swing feel, then it went to the bebop feel, then it went to the cool school feel, then it went to the avant-garde feel. All these things are jazz, and they can be played at any time. The people who are playing Dixieland today, the people who are playing bebop today, and the cool school. It's where a person's heart lies, where his emotions taken.
Nice to see you. All right.
Hi, mate.
Hey, you got your guitar? Quick, let's get to work.
Yeah, let's go.
The jazz player creates his own composition within the framework of rhythm, within the framework of harmony. He creates his music, and it's very individual. Although he's influenced by other players that he's listened, which we all are, you know, we pick from the best, but at the same time, the bottom line is that you express yourself in your own way.
I first met Ike when he was teaching guitar at a guitar centre in Liverpool Street, and they had classical guitar downstairs and he was teaching upstairs. Now I don't know why I went there. Someone told me, or I heard him on the street playing out the window or something, I don't know, but I went into this joint and there's this little guy clutching this F-hole guitar, jazz guitar, and I saw him standing there and he kind of looked at me and kind of looked at him and I said, well, play me something then. You know, I was pretty cheeky. And he goes, well, come upstairs. You know, so he goes upstairs and he starts playing, you know, and I was going, duh.
The biggest influence, you'll laugh when I tell you, Jascha Heifetz, the violinist. When I heard him play on record, I thought to myself, this is just not possible. It's the technique and performance par excellence, perfection. And I always visualized one playing a scale passage or an arpeggio or a phrase with that aplomb, with that ease of communication. And Heifetz was something else.
Ike's like an encyclopedia of the guitar. I mean, there's a guy that's played the guitar for so long and he knows all the mechanisms, all the ways around the guitar. And you say to Ike, do you know this tune, Ike? And he'll know it, and you'll say, play it for me. And he'll play it, and there'll be some way through, something he's doing with the melody and a voicing, and you'll think, yeah, it's like, you know. So he's got, how would I do, it's... He knows that thing, you know.
Madeline, you know polka dots and moonbeams?
Yep.
We played before, and it has the ordinary standard chords of 1, 6, 2, 5.
Yep, they're the ones I
we
know.
can work it chromatically, you know? There's a fun thing about it. Let's try it out, Neff. You just try it.
Okay.
No.
I first met Ike when I was 16 years old through a friend. He said, I've got someone that I'd like you to meet. And he took me over to Ike's place, and we got together for 5 hours, and basically he played to me and just sort of stole my heart. Like, I just decided that I was just touched by the man, you know. He was just like a sparkle, you know. Like, I came home from it, and for like 2 weeks later, it was just like his aura was around me, surrounding me, you know. It's just like, wow. I'm a real person like loves to interact and share, and Ike showed that to me through just that first meeting even. Just that, hey, look at this, here's this, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, Ike with younger players like Ike and Madeline, I mean, that's beautiful. Here's this guy that's like, you know, 50 years older, and they've got something, they've got the guitar in common. They're able to have a musical conversation with the guitars. They both love the guitar deeply.
The guitar plays a race apart, really, because we all realize that we are serving at the pedestal of an instrument that is such a demanding instrument. You know, the guitar player, the funny thing, someone can be playing the guitar for 20 years and play great, and all of a sudden he goes and hears some kid who's been playing for 2 years, and that kid's doing something that he can't do.
It's cool, eh?
Guitar players are great ones for sitting around and actually playing the guitar together and swapping ideas. You know, you can put 4 guitar players in a room and they'll sit around and play something together. You're not going to get 4 piano players playing together that often.
On the moment, creativity, and it's a beautiful feeling to have, and to have that feeling coming up and playing, say, with like the guitar night, the 5 guitars. Everybody has a certain like focus, and there's just this feeling of energy going across the stage, you know, where everyone's into it, and happiness.
improvised music. Whereas classical music is interpretation of the letter that's written by a great composer, which is in no way less than that. It is a great art form, and the music that's written has been demanding, has been profound, and people that perform it have to be great instrumentalists. But the jazz player has a little edge because it's instantaneous composition. You're composing instantly and improvising and playing, creating the music that comes out. So that's the great fun of that, you know. It gives one a sense of exhilaration.
1, 2, 1, 2,
First and foremost, he's a musician. I mean, he's not, you know, a pop star with a haircut. He's a guitarist in the truest sense of the word. You know, he's really, yeah, that's a great role model. Like, you know, anyone that's walking around with a guitar and a haircut might feel a little bit ridiculous about themselves if they confront someone like Ike. Well, it's just the guitar, you know.
Ike's playing is extremely unusual in this day and age. The nearest thing to the way Ike plays would probably be George Van Epps, the great American guitarist. George and Ike, of course, and very few other people I know are actually chord players, first and foremost, and almost exclusively. Ike's playing really comes alive when he switches to chords, which are the harder of the two things to play. I mean, single notes or chords. Chords are by far the harder, but in the case of a guy like Ike, that's suddenly a lot easier for him. He comes to life, and he's got a profound knowledge of all the various chordal combinations on the guitar. It's quite amazing.
When I started, I didn't think I was going to be a professional. I just wanted to play the music. So in essence, you just want to make the music. You've got to understand what the music's about, where it's coming from, listen to other players. You have a feeling for improvisation. And that's a thing that some people are born with a gift. They don't know what they're doing, but they do it well. I think mutual respect in music per se, or in any art form, is a necessity. I mean, we all do it. Depends on the person, yeah, of course. You can't brush aside somebody who's playing, you know. Everybody has something to offer.
Well, you know, I mean, the guitar, I think, is completely different compared to other instruments in the sense that there are as many totally different ways of playing it as there are people playing it. There is an overview of piano styles. If you're talking Beethoven sonatas, I mean, I personally can't tell any of the top 20 players from one another because the music holds it all in place, the written music. But the kind of music that Ike plays and that I play is largely of our own making. And very few people choose to go that hard road that Ike's chosen to go by playing complicated chord sequences which are very, very difficult to play. I mean, Ike would play during a night's performance probably as many finger movements as Segovia would in 6 months. And that's saying something.
Good to have those solid, older things that, you know, when I say older things, like someone's, Ike's an older thing, no, but like somebody that's been doing it for so long, you know, and you can measure yourself, you can think, well, yeah, you know, yes, that's, you know, I hope I'm doing that when I'm that old. I hope I make it that old and I can do that, you know, and have known all those people and have that situation happening. It's lovely.
Ike is one of my dearest friends, and I don't know, we both seem to say that he's sort of like a father to me, musical father. I love him. I think he's a beautiful man.
Young people that want to start out playing jazz, well, good on them, I say. You know, why not? What do you want to do? Work in the bank?
What's very important is self-development. It's an understanding that it's more in life than just one's profession or material things, you know. There's a spirituality in man, and one is searching to nourish that spiritual side of man, you know, and understanding that within yourself there is something more, and one should search and find out things that will help one grow spiritually.